Hi, my name is Maria and this is Meet Me at Zero. If you did not see the last video, please do so you can kind of know where I'm going with this. I pray about everything I want to talk about on a weekly basis depending on what's stirred in my spirit for the week. And so I also have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to, and I ask first and foremost, please pray for me. Share if you think somebody will benefit from this. But I just wanted to touch base today in regards to our younger generation, investing in the next person. And so there's a saying, something about be the person that you as a child needed. And for me, it was mentors. It was somebody positive, somebody with a little light at the end of the tunnel. And so I'm one of 10 children. And as early as I can remember, and I'll share with my parents today, my dad especially, that as one of the older kids, we were always preoccupied with chores or something, and we really never received that one-on-one attention. And so I had a teacher, Miss Washington, and it was in Potter Thomas, and if I had to estimate age, I was probably 10 or 11. And something she saw in me, that she invited me to help her after school in her classroom to organize the books and help her clean the classroom. And she would bring me a snack. I remember she used to wear a wig and her purse smelled like mothballs, but she was the sweetest thing and she gave the best hugs. And I fell in love with Amelia Bedelia. And after I would help her, she would give me a few coins and I would go to the corner store and get some sweetest fish. That's when you could buy candy for a penny in these little brown bags. And so I just remember her being the first person that I can think of that really impacted, and I connected making a little bit of money with doing a little work with money, and just somebody that as a child nurtured my spirit and that saw something in me. And so that was so important at that time. We also had a babysitter who was a family friend, Carmen Callaso, who used to take care of some of us, and she noticed that I would hunch over, and so she took it upon herself to take me to Shriners Hospital in Philly, and I was diagnosed with scoliosis, and she would take me to all of my appointments, and I have memories of us picking apples. They had these huge trees out there, and she would just, take us. I still remember she used to wear the sweet perfume. She had all white hair and she had a cane and she used to wear polyester, and she took the time to spend it with my oldest siblings, and I definitely remember spending a lot of one-on-one time with her. She used to collect stamps and coins, and I remember going to the stores to buy them and then helping her sort them out and put them in these binders that she had, and just listening to her talk. But in all of this, she took the time, and she didn't have to. We were not related to her at all, but she saw the need that we had. And it's like she brought us from being invisible to being visible. And so I was diagnosed, like I said, with scoliosis. And y'all can imagine being of that age, and I was told I had to wear a heel higher than the other one. And so I remember getting white Adidas with the black stripe because they were completely white and they could add a certain amount to the bottom and nobody would notice. And so she was kind and loving enough to take the time to do that for me. She also used to take me to Shriners. Used to have these parties like once a year, and I remember the Sixers came and Dr. J was there and I met him. And so she passed away and she was older, by the way, when she was doing this. She was probably, if I had to guess, she was probably in her 60s. She was retired, brilliant woman. And she didn't have to, and she did. And she passed away not knowing how important she was to me. And so I just want to encourage you this week to pay attention to your nieces, to your nephews, to kids in your neighborhood, to coworkers that might have a need that you can help with. We sometimes think, that we give our kids everything from toys to stuff, and we still don't allow them to come to life. We still don't validate their thoughts, their individuality, who they are as people, how they see the world. We should teach them the way they should go, not by imposing, not by controlling, but by allowing self-expression and teaching God's love for their life, and that it's okay to be different, and just finding that time to connect. I think we're losing. The more technology we have, the less connected we are as people, or we are not genuine about our connection. And children are the most innocent. And if we think about it, when you're helping a child who's friends with your child or in that same level, you have to think that our child is sharing the planet with that child that has a need, that something's not being met. And so if that's not met, they're going to act a certain way. And it's going to affect the circle that your child moves in. And more importantly, this child turns into a teen, turns into an adult, which is why we have adults now that have not overcome children issues, and still walk around invisible. They don't feel validated. They haven't found that connection to the Creator. Because you do get to the point of wholeness, I think. There's normal, I think, human insecurities, but there's a wholeness factor that has to do with God, that has to do with purpose, that has to do with knowing that you're enough because God says you're enough, that you can be different, that it's okay to be different, that you can love God a certain way, and it doesn't have to be the same way everybody else loves Him. And so in that, I think that we do a great disservice when we have the opportunity, and it comes to us, I think, every day. You meet people at the gas station, at the grocery store, at your job, and all they want is 2 seconds of a nice word, good morning, a compliment, a prayer. Just extend some humanity this week. If there's something you can do, and it doesn't have to do with money, it's more about your gifts and tapping into what God has given you. And so this week, I just want to encourage you to make a difference in someone's life. And you might not know, 10, 15 years from now, it makes a huge difference. And that's why I love my teachers, because I know how stressful it is, and they have to divide themselves between all these students. But I promise you that they are game changers, and they are making a difference, and they are changing lives. And so I just pray that you have a mighty week. Like I said, please pray for me, share this information, and I'll have other stories to share next time. You have a good night, and know that you're loved and cared for. Meet me at 0 next week. Bye-bye.